You give me one good thing about America.
I can't answer that. You got it.
What do you think? What is the most racist country in the world?
I don't know. USA, America.
Yeah, America.
Ask a British visitor what they expect from America before they've ever been here, and you'll probably hear the same familiar complaints. Too big, too excessive, too much of everything. But then they actually arrive, and suddenly, the things they were prepared to make fun of start looking very different. Those enormous drinks? Surprisingly useful. Those huge gas stations? Incredibly convenient. And those strangers casually complimenting you? Or starting conversations? Maybe Americans aren't as unfriendly as they expected. Little by little, the stereotypes begin to fall apart. The funny thing is, they don't always change their minds because of some spectacular tourist attraction. Sometimes it's one ordinary moment that makes them stop and think, maybe I had America completely wrong. And by the end of the trip, some visitors find themselves admitting something they never expected to say. I actually understand it now. So stay with us, because the final reactions might reveal the most unexpected thing about visiting America. Sometimes you have to experience it yourself before you can understand it.
I'm a Brit living in America. I just want to show you quickly, whilst I'm walking around Walmart, the sheer size of the chip aisle. This is probably normal for you guys in America, but coming from the UK, this is enormous. I think it's just one aisle or two.
You can stay there.
I've just come off the flight. I'm back in the UK. I'm back in the UK. When they tell you that everything in America is bigger, they're not joking. Like, I'm telling you now, it's big. Come and look at this. Come and look at this. This one is what I got. This was a small. This small in the UK is a large. Come and look at what Victor got. Come and look at what Victor got. This was even medium. I said, what? Yep. That's Nella Rose. Look how big that drink is. Even the can. I've not seen a can like this. Like Nella will say, even those that have bottled will not bottle like this. Why is it the size of her head? Why? Even Mr. Man is smiling. Why is smiling, bro? Why is smiling? That's diabetes in a cup. Look at the size of the plate. No, it's not making sense. Genuinely, it's not making sense. This was regular. My head is not regular. And it's the size of my head. Even Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, America, please. I don't know what's going on.
For many British visitors, America looks very different once they actually arrive. Things that seemed excessive from a distance can suddenly become useful when you're standing right in front of them. The size, the convenience, the choices, and the sheer scale of everyday life can take some getting used to. At first, visitors may laugh or wonder why Americans need things to be so big. But then they use them themselves, and the reaction begins to change. What looked unnecessary starts making practical sense, and that's often the first sign that their expectations about America may have been based more on assumptions than actual experience.
3 things that Americans find completely normal, but would absolutely blow British people's minds. Number 1 is the size of your trucks. In the UK, we have tiny trucks compared to the ones in America. Some of them genuinely look like monster trucks driving down the road. Please insert a picture to the comments now if you have one of these trucks. Incredible. Number 2 is free refills. Nowhere in the UK do you get free refills. It's not a thing. It doesn't happen. People in Britain are very tight. Very tight. They don't like being generous. That's one big difference that I noticed about America. Very generous. People in the UK, not very generous. Number 3 is people just casually carrying pew-pews wherever they go. And you guys talk about it a lot. For people in Britain, we never ever really see one unless there's a police officer who is armed. But that's very rare. All of those 3 things are so normal to you guys in America, but to Brits, shocking. Shocking.
I'd be sad, but I think Quick Trip's my favourite place in America, and I know you Americans are thinking, what's she talking about? It's a petrol station. No. Our petrol stations aren't like this. You can buy a roast chicken and soup in your petrol stations. I'm going to show you. Obviously, I know Americans know what's in here, but I'm going to show the Brits because you can get a roast chicken and I can't get over it. Just filled up my car, and do you know what I really fancy? Chicken noodle soup, or maybe mac and cheese soup, or maybe cheesy broccoli soup. Anybody want? A donut? Maybe an apple fritter? Come look at the fritters. Tell me that don't look like the best thing you've ever seen in your entire life. We've got all the coffee choice, all the drinks, we've got shakes and smoothies. You can get a lot of this, like the hot dogs and stuff in 7-Eleven, but it feels a bit fresher in here. Got all the fried chicken, a full roast chicken, if you forgot your roast for your roast. Sausage, egg and cheese on a waffle. Croissant crust breakfast pizza. Probably thinking, Lauren, you've just shown us food. No, you don't get it. I think our petrol stations are getting better in the UK, but come on. Soup! Look at your coffee cup. We got our coffees.
Go, Pat, go.
I didn't get a donut because I literally had a pizza at like midnight, so I'm full.
That's a high school football stadium?
Yep.
Some Premier League stadiums aren't even this big.
I know, right?
What is going on? Why does everyone have their hands on their hearts? I'd love to live here. This place is nice.
You know your credit score?
My what?
A 3-digit number that decides whether you can live here?
A number actually decides if you can rent a home or not.
Yup.
What? You can actually buy an entire shed?
Yup.
Since when did you get artificial turf?
Since the HOA decided to fine us.
The what?
The HOA. They said our grass is too long.
So another family can tell you what to do with your own house?
Yeah.
And you all agreed to this?
Yep.
What? You guys sell your cereal in bags?
Yeah, man.
It looks like dog food. This is so cheap, it looks fake.
I know.
$1.50 for a quarter-pound hot dog and a free refill?
Yep, and it's been the same way since 1985.
The longer they stay, the more difficult those old stereotypes become to maintain. Visitors may have expected Americans to be loud, excessive, or distant, only to discover something quite different in everyday situations. A simple conversation with a stranger, an unexpected act of friendliness, or an ordinary moment of convenience can be surprisingly powerful. None of these experiences are dramatic. That's exactly why they matter. They show visitors what America is actually like when the cameras aren't focused on famous landmarks. And little by little, the country they thought they understood begins to look much more welcoming, practical, and familiar than they expected.
I'm a Brit in America for the very first time, and here are a few things that really shocked me about the place. One, obviously, the food, the size of everything, mate. Like any meal you get, any large drink that you get, it's just insane. Talking of the food, how much sugar is in everything? Like a bottle of Coke here has like nearly 20 teaspoons of sugar in it, man. Just everything, everything's so sweet. Number 3, the people are actually really, really lovely, man. I think English people have a thing about Americans, but you know what, I've been very impressed with all the Americans I've met. Mate, there's a massive bug. Number 4, there's loads of crazy ass bugs in Florida. I just want to thank eSIM.io for keeping me connected this whole trip and allowing me to keep posting content daily for you guys. Make sure you check them out. Use Squash 50 for a discount. 5, this place is not built for walking. You need to drive, bro. If you ain't got a car, like I don't, because we're just on holiday, it's long, mate. Number 6 is the cost of living here, mate. Wow, thought we had it bad in England. I went to Walgreens the other day, and like boxes of cereal were like $9, $10. A pack of Oreos was like $9 something. Another one is how big everything is. Not just the food, just everything, man. Oh, this guy's blowing leaves. Oh, they've got some really cool ass cars, especially all the Dodge Challengers and Mustangs everywhere. So all in all, mate, I absolutely love this place. I've completely fallen in love with America, and I would definitely be coming back. Love.
I'm an Englishman exploring places in America, and today, guys, I'm in Santa Barbara. I'm walking around Santa Barbara and I'm already getting a really lovely feel about this place. It really feels like you're in Spain or Greece. Look, you've got the cobblestone floor, you've got the lovely architecture. Oh, Spanish flag. Is there any roots in Santa Barbara to Spain? If you look over here, we can see the history of Santa Barbara all the way back to the 19th century. Look at what the town used to look like. Walking down State Street now, which I guess is their main street for all the shops. I've just seen an aloe, which is nice for the girls. Loads of people sat outside, having a drink, enjoying the sunshine. So far, Santa Barbara is really impressing me, guys. All the shops are so nice and gorgeous. They got a theatre over there, which is under construction. I love how there's so many tables out. It just gives you that European feel here in Santa Barbara. Doing the windows, my gosh, that looks way too real. Walking down La Arcadia, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Check it out. This whole place reminds me of Spain. Santa Barbara is absolutely gorgeous. Check this out. Look at this gorgeous street, guys. Check it out. Look at the architecture. I love the window hatches here. Look at this, and the roof. Arrived at Santa Barbara's public library. I've never seen a library door as nice as this. I actually see an English flag over there, so can anyone tell me? Is there any English roots in Santa Barbara? They've got some lovely pictures of the boats in Santa Barbara back in the day. And look at these lovely two ladies. They looking very English and stylish. Oh my goodness, guys. Check out this old movie theatre. Oh, and they're showing Spider-Man. Look at this. This might be the nicest box office I've seen so far as well. Oh my goodness. Look at this cinema. I'm speechless. The Granada Theatre is huge. Check it out. Santa Barbara striking me as a place I'd love to have my family settle down here because it's quiet, you're near the beach, and you've got streets like this. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm gonna have to break this video up into two parts because Santa Barbara is huge. I'm used to the small towns like San Dimas and Monrovia, but Santa Barbara is massive. Guys, Santa Barbara doesn't have just one old theatre. It has three. Can you believe it? And again, look at the terrace. The architecture's insane. This store's got Queen Lizzie. Shout out Queen Elizabeth, the greatest ever. Guys, you're not gonna believe it. They got another one. Another movie theatre, another classic movie theatre. And again, the architecture is incredible. They got a cafe for me, guys. Joe's Cafe. I didn't like Santa Barbara enough already. They've got an English pub. Look at this. An English pub in Santa Barbara. Now I feel like at home.
Sometimes, the biggest change doesn't come from anything spectacular. It comes from a completely ordinary moment that visitors never expected to remember. They may walk into a store, stop somewhere for food, talk with a stranger, or simply experience the way Americans go about their daily routines. Something about that moment feels different. Then they realize they actually enjoy it. That's when the comparison with Britain naturally begins. They start thinking about how the same situation would work back home and wondering why it doesn't feel quite as easy, open, or convenient. America begins to make more sense, not because someone explained it to them, but because they experienced it themselves.
After living in America for 2 years, there are still 3 things that genuinely shock me. And the first one isn't what you'd expect. Number 1, the driving. Everybody told me in America it would be much easier, and they were right. The roads are wider, the signs just make sense, and it's actually a really easy place to drive until you meet the other drivers. Mate, every morning on my way to work it feels like I'm playing Mario Kart. Except if you lose, you actually die. You got these absolutely massive semi-trucks, we call them lorries back home, and it feels like they're trying to take me out every other day. People flying past you at what feels like 120 miles an hour, probably faster, weaving through traffic like they're either rushing to the hospital because their wife's in labour, or they just really need a poo. I finally understand why people pray so much down here, because how else are you supposed to survive the morning commute? Number 2, the house prices. This one still absolutely blows my mind. Back home in England, what me and my wife have here in Alabama would cost an absolute fortune. We've got half an acre, a huge deck, and just loads of space. Back in England, we'd probably be living in a tiny house with neighbours so close we'd practically be sharing a room. Every time I pull into the driveway, I still look at my wife and say, I cannot believe this is our house. I'm genuinely just so grateful for that. Having the space, being able to breathe, it's just something I'll never ever take for granted. And number 3, the people. This is probably the biggest one. People wave at you as you drive past, they'll stop and have a real conversation with a complete stranger because they actually want to get to know you. To me, that was such a culture shock because in England, people just keep themselves to themselves. When we bought our first house, our neighbours came over and said, if you ever need anything at all, just let us know. Being so far from home, that meant more to me than they'll ever probably realise. My wife's from Tennessee, so to her that's probably completely normal, but to me, I honestly don't think I'll ever get used to that southern hospitality. And I really hope that I never do. So what else do you want to know about me living in America as a Brit? Ask me below in the comments and I'll answer the best ones.
Things that surprised me most about the US. Huge gaps in all public restroom doors. Bathrooms, sorry Brits. Like, I can fit my whole ass hand in there, look. It's like, you're on the loo, peekaboo. No one knows what get with means. Everyone's like, what? You have to say hook up, make out with, kissed, I don't know. But get with is confusing as hell. At university, no one smokes cigarettes, unless you're international, European to be specific. It's all Juuls and vapes. If you smoke at a party, people think it's kind of gross. Now this one blew my mind. At cinemas, they only have butter popcorn. No salt, no sweet. Americans, how do you live? I'm shook. There's also no unifying humour. I feel like in England, a lot of English people get along because we kind of have a similar understanding of humour. That's not the case in America. For some reason, people from the Bay Area really understand English humour. Make friends from there. Sunday roasts aren't a thing. I know. Americans live without Yorkshire puddings. Instead, they have brunches with mimosas and like omelettes. Crazy.
This might be the best thing I've discovered about living in America, is they do their butter like this in a stick. Best invention. Look, it even shows you how much you've used on the side, and then you just wipe it on like that. And it's so much easier because it melts because the toast is already hot.
Once the initial surprise wears off, visitors often stop asking, "Why do Americans do this?" and start asking a much more interesting question: why don't we do this at home? That's a significant change. Something they once considered excessive can suddenly seem practical. Something they thought was unusual can become something they genuinely appreciate. And even the friendliness they initially found surprising can begin to feel like one of the most enjoyable parts of the experience. They aren't necessarily saying America does everything perfectly. They're simply discovering that many things they had dismissed from a distance actually work rather well when experienced firsthand.
I'm a Brit living in America, so I'm going to show you some of my favourite things in my American neighbourhood compared to my UK one. This, no horn blowing, $50 to $100 fine. Never seen that before in the UK. I should say we live in Hoboken, which is in New Jersey, opposite New York. So it's different every town, you know, but this is my favourite things about our town. So people just leave things on like their doorstep for you to come and take, which I think is really cute. In the UK, we don't really leave stuff outside. We just normally take it to the charity shop. So it's quite cute that you guys, you know, support each other. Another one of just stuff left outside to take. You guys are going to think I'm weird, but we don't have this in the UK, like these little pull fins. That's very American to me. So obviously we do have mailboxes, but I can't tell you how many times I thought this is a trash can when it's not. Your mailboxes, that does confuse me. Every single block will have a crossing. In the UK, you've got like 10 miles just to find a crosswalk. I'm sure every Brit that moves to America says this, but these fire hydrants, they are just so American to us. I want to try and open it, I don't know. And is it true in the summer you guys open it so we can like cool off? Because I'm sweating still. I think it's 33 degrees and I ain't used to it. School buses, don't have them in the UK, how cool. American flag just flying high and proud. In the UK, we're not very patriotic compared to you guys, but I do think it's really cool. And in the most corners, like we've got a wrap place, we've got a pizza place down there, we've got a restaurant, and then we've got a coffee shop there. Maybe this is just a Hoboken thing, but I feel like every corner of a block has something fun on it. I can't tell you how bad it's my bank balance.
These are some things that have shocked me to my core about America after being here for nearly a month. Just their roads in general, like 4-way stop signs. How is that not causing crashes? Because the rule is whoever gets there first goes, but what if I thought I got there before you? No roundabouts, and where there is roundabouts, no one knows how to use them. You can turn right on a red light. You have to guess that the person over there isn't going to come at you. You know, if we're going on a night out in England, wearing dresses, heels to the nines, they'll just go out in jeans and tops here. Like, you could go out in this and jeans on a night out and it would be totally normal. Sales tax. Put it in the price. Just put it in the price. Look at something, it says $16. I'll take it to the till, suddenly it's like $20, $21. Just put it in the price. I don't understand why we have to do this. There is a drive-through for everything. I mean, you can deposit a check in a drive-through. You can drop things off at a charity shop through a drive-through. Everything is a drive-through. Don't get me started on car washing places. I have never felt luxury like it. Your own shop, you can like look through a window and watch the cars getting washed. It's absolutely insane. I want to reiterate the portion sizes here are absolutely diabolical. Our large drink at Mackey's is their small drinks here. Let that digest. I went to Swig and she said, "What size do you want?" I said, "Oh, what's the biggest you do?" 44 ounce. Do you know how big 44 ounce is? It's bigger than my head. The last and final one. I go to a restaurant and I get a drink, they will automatically, even when my drink's not even finished yet, bring me a refill. Everywhere is a refill here. Do you know how in the UK, like, some places do refills, some places don't? Everywhere is a refill drink here. That is something that we need to take on board in the UK. And that is all the things that have shook me to my core since being in the US for a month. I have way more, so let me know if you want more. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
And by the end of the trip, the transformation can be surprisingly complete. Visitors who arrived prepared to make jokes about America are now defending some of the very things they once questioned. The size doesn't seem quite so ridiculous anymore. The convenience starts feeling natural. The openness of American people becomes something they remember fondly. And the country that once seemed excessive begins to feel remarkably comfortable. That's when the original stereotypes lose their power. They haven't simply learned more about America, they've experienced it. And sometimes, that experience is enough to make someone admit that the country they thought they knew from a distance was never quite the America they found in person.
I'm a Brit living in America. One thing I love about the American gas stations, you can just take your time. There's no hurry. It's like a family day out. Plenty big enough, loads of pumps. You also don't have to hold your pump as well. What I'm saying is, it's just quite an enjoyable experience.
We have arrived in the UP and we had to stop off somewhere. We are in a place called Kitchipiti. It's beautiful, but there's a certain view we have to see here and you've got to see it with us. Let's go! I can see something. There's a boat.
This is exciting.
Look how blue that water is. Oh my. There's no way that's real water. They must dye that water, mate.
We have to get on this boat.
Look at that.
I think you have to pull yourself.
Really?
It's a nice scenic experience. Be quiet.
Look at this.
I think we have to flip the lever.
Flip the lever, sir.
Look how clear.
45 feet down there.
It's like a movie set. You can see the springs down there, mate. Look at that.
Wait, come look at the fish.
The fish. That's a shark.
I've got the wheel, mate.
Steer it.
I'll steer this ship. Look how nice it is out there.
Right here?
That is absolutely stunning.
3 American things that would literally put a British person into a coma. Straight off the bat, this one would annihilate every single British person. Moonshine. I tried it once, it nearly knocked me out, mate. You put moonshine in your car, it's literally running. And it put a bloody British person in a coma. Number 2, the weather. American weather is the most bipolar thing I have ever known. There's no in between with American weather. You either feel like you're sat in a furnace or you're having a drink with a polar bear. Take your pick. Number 3, the food. British taste buds can't handle American food, mate. Do you know what we season our food with? I'll tell you, salt and bloody pepper. When I first arrived in America, like Christopher Columbus once did, I stepped on the land with the pilgrims and I said, yeah, this is what taste is, baby. It was like an explosion of taste and flavour in my mouth. I'd finally discovered what real seasoning was. God bless America.
And perhaps that's the most interesting thing about visiting America. You can hear opinions about the country for years. You can see the jokes. You can watch the movies. You can listen to people explain what America is supposed to be like. But none of that is quite the same as being here. Because once British visitors actually arrive, the little things begin telling a different story. The things that looked excessive start becoming useful. The things that seemed strange begin making sense. And the people they expected to be distant may turn out to be remarkably friendly. A stranger starts a conversation. Someone offers help. A simple, everyday experience becomes unexpectedly enjoyable. And suddenly, the America they had imagined doesn't quite match the America standing in front of them. That's when the comparisons begin. They start thinking about home. They remember how things are done in Britain. And they begin wondering why certain things aren't quite as convenient, open, or straightforward there. It's not necessarily one spectacular moment that changes their minds. It's often dozens of ordinary moments quietly adding up. That's what makes the transformation so interesting. They arrived expecting America to prove their assumptions right. Instead, America gave them a reason to question those assumptions. And perhaps that's one of the greatest advantages of travel. You don't simply see another country. You discover how different your own expectations were from reality. For some British visitors, that discovery leads to a surprisingly simple conclusion. Maybe I had America wrong. And after enough time here, another thought can follow. Now I understand why Americans like it. Because sometimes, you don't really understand a place by watching it from the outside, you have to experience it. And once you do, America can be very difficult to look at the same way again.